Good morning, everyone. Wonderful to see so many of you here with us this morning. Really appreciate.
Can I just say the things I put there? It's just one resource, Rethink Periods. It's got quite a sort of environmental.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Cook, and I'm the Director of Corporate Development for Lancaster Burns Construction. Compassion seems to be one of the hot words of 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic that has disrupted our world. In the articles we read, interviews we hear, or conversations we have in regards to managing through the situation, the word compassion seems to be one of the guiding principles we are all advised to practice. When you think of the construction industry, I bet that compassion is not one of the top 10 phrases you would use to describe it or its culture. You would probably jump to others such as pride and grit. Traditionally, our industry is characterized by gruff trade professionals who work hard and take great pride in building the infrastructure communities around the world need to thrive and sustain. You could expect to have to prove yourself and to have thick skin to handle the reality that in construction, building rarely goes as planned. Although many of those principles are still a cornerstone of our industry and the amazing group of people who work in it, we now have different management styles leading the charge, which have morphed to accommodate the changing demographic and circumstances of our workforce. Words such as compassion, which used to be frowned upon, are now embraced as our upcoming leaders learn to navigate and successfully manage and inspire our people through never before seen world events and challenges and everyday wins and losses on the job site. We have taken the lessons from the past and used them to develop what the industry will look like. The three key takeaways from this presentation will be learning and understanding the impact of your brand and that of our industry. We will explore the differences between what got us to this point and what changes are being made to get us to the future. And I will give some practical ways to be encourage and lead the transition. As defined, a brand is an ongoing process of developing and maintaining a reputation and impression of an individual, group, or organization. This is not a set it and forget it item. Instead, it is something that is constantly being solidified or changed based on the management of it. We can all think of a brand that resonates with us in a positive way. It can be because it represents something that we believe in or that it makes us feel a certain way. On the flip side, we can all think of a brand that resonates with us in a negative way. The demographic of our industry has changed, and as such, so has the way we need to conduct ourselves. Our people and their priorities have changed, which has led to a resurgence in our industry. We have seen the industry step up in terms of professionalism, which has invited a new type of construction professional that brings a new set of skills. The empowering leaders of today look similar, but not identical, to those of yesterday. Many of us who have been in the industry for some time were brought in and up in a much different experience than our newer counterparts. This change was brought about by us enduring through our own experience and wanting something better for those who come after us. We are the ones who are charged with changing the lens by which people view our industry, and this will take new leaders who are willing to embrace positive change. Our industry's reputation has transformed over the generations. In the past, there were very few, if any, women in the industry, and the men were breadwinners for the family. Even recently, our industry was known to be in the dark ages in terms of technology and advancements. We were known to like to keep things simple, and because a large number of our people were mechanically inclined, we chose to build improvements with our hands rather than use computers. There were limited career opportunities. You were either in the field managing or in the office supporting the field operations. Traditionally, people entering construction were following in someone's footsteps, be it a family member or a mentor. They usually had someone bring them in. Now, approximately 10% of the workforce in construction are women. Not a huge number, but progress has been made, which is extremely encouraging. As of 2010, approximately 80% of employees in construction in the US had a high school diploma or higher education. This is a drastic change from previous generations who used construction as a place to put students who were not encouraged to continue school. Technology has been implemented in everything from bidding and project management software to the tools we use. From additional safety features to providing items that reduce errors, technology is now an exciting and embraced part of our industry. As the industry advances, the number of career opportunities continues to increase as well. We will take a closer look at this in the next section. Although we still have individuals following in others' footsteps, construction has also become a career choice. From trade schools to degrees in construction management, our industry has multiple entry points for all levels of experience and backgrounds. If you were to write down why you're in the industry, what would you say? I bet a large number of us would have similar answers. This is part of our brand as an industry. We attract like-minded people, so us being aware of why we do what we do, and better yet, communicating those whys to people, is how we are going to get more people interested in construction. You may have someone who never considered a career in construction hear things like problem solving or serving the community and realize they may be a good fit because those things fall in line within their passions. Pride, I built that. We've all said it. What we do is tangible. We can see and touch the fruits of our labor every day. We are problem solvers, innovators, and risk takers. We work hard and are surrounded by like-minded people. What we do isn't easy, which is what makes it fun. Community service. We build things that will be part of the communities we serve for generations to come. We get to be outside, and no 2 days are the same. We are geeks. We get an insider look at what structures look like and how and why they work. We have VIP access to some of the most groundbreaking and exciting projects in the world. It would be similar to what a doctor would visualize if you were explaining how you hurt your ankle. I would imagine that they would visualize something much different than us because of their profession. A set of plans to us is like an X-ray machine to a doctor. Your personal brand is one of the most important things you can develop as you progress in your career. Your personal brand is how you stand out from the competition, increase your credibility, and communicate your values. It is something that can be crafted and is something that not a lot of people put much conscious thought into. It just is. I'm not suggesting we all go out and start pretending to be someone we are not, but being aware of how you are perceived, and if you are not satisfied, making changes to adjust that perception can be a powerful career booster. I was at a WIC event a few years ago and had the privilege of hearing Cheryl Palmer, who is the chairman, president, and CEO of Taylor Morrison Homes Corporation, speak. She said something about brand that really stuck with me because of its simplicity at face value and the power of the words as you dug deeper. Your brand is how you connect, communicate, look, and lead. The day I got back from that conference, I put a post-it note on my computer screen that says, "What is my brand?" so that I would have a constant reminder on the importance of developing and maintaining my personal brand. Prior to this conference, I was fairly well versed on the concept of brand and the importance of it as a young woman coming up in the construction industry, but she really made it hit home for me. How you connect to people. How do you connect to your peers and build relationships? Are you really social and like to get to know people personally? Or do you keep a more professional level of connection? How do you communicate to people? Are you more formal in your communication? Do you keep it casual? Or are you somewhere in the middle? How you look. This was so important as I moved into more senior roles. For the first few years I worked at my current company, I was in the estimating department and always wore 5-inch heels. This quickly became part of my brand, and I use it as an icebreaker and as a way to stand out. They fit my personality, and I was very aware of the presence that I had. As my ambitions changed, I altered my look to portray where I wanted to go, which was senior management. The first time I showed up to work in flats, the first question everyone asked was where I went, because they had no idea how short I was. And then, of course, they asked if I was sick. Me making this transition was a very in-your-face way of me communicating that I was ready for something different. The quote, "dress for the job you want, not the job you have," comes into play here, but not how you may think. We are a jeans-wearing industry. Some people can get into trouble with taking this too far, so know your environment and dress accordingly. How you lead. Do you lead from the front or the back? Do you lead with your heart or your head? If you are a current leader, having an honest view of how your team would answer this question about you and ensuring it aligns with your intent is paramount. If you are an inspiring leader, be mindful of the difference and make an effort to create this part of your brand. You have the power to change any of these items, but beware. Pushing yourself to portray an image of something that is not who you truly are will get sniffed at eventually, and you will lose credibility. You can only pretend for so long. You would be better off focusing on making yourself a better version of you and being authentic. What are your superpowers? What do you do better than anybody else? What makes you different? Don't know? Ask the people who know you. They will be able to tell you. Knowing what are not your strengths is just as important. What are your values and your purpose? Why do you do what you do? If people know what your values are, they will have a better idea of your motivation behind opinions and decisions that you make. If you don't know who you are, how do you expect others to know what to expect? Humans like consistency and being able to anticipate what is coming. If you're looking to emerge as a leader, the people around you will want to know what they are supporting. The past is where you learn the lesson. The future is where you apply the lesson. You don't want to lose those intangible things that make our industry unique, but we also want to tap into the items that have changed and be able to play into emerging interests and priorities. We have a large number of seasoned construction professionals aging out of the industry in the coming years. This generation came up through the industry with a much different experience than the next generation will. A large number came in from the trades and learned as they earned. Many construction business owners started their business not because they were business people, but because they knew how to build stuff and they saw a need. This entrepreneurial spirit is one of the key things that got our industry to its point. Building was the goal, business was a byproduct. The growth in our economies and the ambition for a better life created the need. Strong support from the community and the ability to enter the industry with little to no experience made it possible to fill open positions and get projects off the ground. New projects gave way to the need to innovate. Pride in our work that we did and the accomplishments we had fueled the fire for all of the hard work that was put in. Embracing technology and using it to continuously innovate is going to be key to having our industry thrive. Exploit the benefits of multi-generational workforces. We have learned that we need to change our approach when teaching and holding different groups accountable. Realizing that we have different priorities and aspirations also allows us to tap into the part of our teams that really motivates them. We have no excuse to not always be growing. We have so many resources available to us now. You should always be striving to improve yourself and your teams. Providing career paths and growth opportunities for our people is essential. Diversity in thought performs better. If your team helps to create the plan, they will own it and work harder to make it successful. Collaboration and engagement increases productivity. We have stepped up our professional game. In order to attract the talent needed to advance our industry into the future and keep us a relevant career choice, we need to embrace the shift towards a more professional work environment. Primary and secondary schools shifted their focus to technology and promoting the necessity for college. This shift had a ripple effect in our industry in that a large number of CTE programs were minimized or shut down completely, which took away their opportunity to be exposed to the industry. Parents' focus also shifted as they no longer wanted their kids to be carpenters or plumbers and wanted a better life for their kids. I believe parents still have this vision of careers in construction as being unglamorous, thus making them unappealing. They want their kids safe behind a desk working at a computer. This is where that marketing piece comes in. What we do is cool. We took our foot off the gas pedal in terms of marketing and promoting the amazing opportunities in the industry, and now we have a generational gap in our incoming candidates. The leaders of yesterday are not what is going to sell the industry to the potential leaders of the future. We need to engage with our up-and-coming leaders to educate society on what careers in construction look like now. That hard work piece is ingrained in the fabric of construction. Being willing to work hard for what you want is what got us here and what is going to get us there. An individual has two lives, personal and professional. They have to come together. We have to let them and support it. Leading with compassion and understanding that we need to give our people equal opportunities to balance life and work has been a huge shift in the way our industry conducts business. We no longer just turn off once we leave the job site or office, and the expectations we have for our people have increased. Allowing them the flexibility to and supporting their interests outside of the office allows our teams to be more engaged while at work. The construction leaders of yesterday were predominantly male and held traditional roles in their family unit. The leaders of tomorrow are much more diverse, and our idea of the traditional family roles has changed. More than a quarter of baby boomer employees had stay-at-home, either full-time or part-time partners. Nearly 80% of millennial families and 73% of Gen X are dual income, and partners work full-time in their own careers. This shift in roles has created opportunities for women to pursue careers outside of the home, but has made businesses reevaluate status quo because the duties of caring for a family are more equally dispersed, and the expectation that employees will have the support to allow someone to be 100% dedicated to their job has become more difficult. Culture is consistently at the top of people's motivation for staying or leaving a job, even over salary. The true experience we have at our companies equates to its culture. Before, your culture just was, not something we really put too much thought into. Now, culture is a hot button for companies and something that employees feel the need to have identified so they can speak to it and so we can hold our people accountable to it. Defining our reasons for existing or purpose and why we exist or personality can be an extremely rewarding and eye-opening experience. It gives our team something to get behind and fight for. Having opportunity to grow and learn and a career path is also an item that motivates. Traditional construction field paths have been fairly well defined, but with all the additional roles in construction that people can be involved in, making opportunities available and attainable is important. Not overlooking the offboarding process and ensuring we are providing career paths for our seasoned professionals looking to use their experience to continue to add value as they transition out will be vital to us retaining as much of the knowledge they have gained as possible. Being flexible and creative with these individuals may give you an opportunity to utilize their experience for much longer. Encourage and lead the transition. Even before the pandemic, our industry was in a state of transition. Many original founders were looking to step back or out completely and transfer the day-to-day duties to the next generation of leaders within their organizations. These up-and-coming leaders were thrust into not only working with their retiring leadership on the transition, but managing through crisis. Transition in normal times is hard enough. Add the emotions and stress of a pandemic on top of it, and it becomes a whole different beast. This is such a pivotal moment for the new school. Although this is a horrible situation, this is a perfect opportunity to show how the new skills and outlooks we are bringing to the table can be utilized to successfully manage through. Managing through this economy is going to take embracing technology, understanding the priorities and needs of our workforce, which is comprised of a much more diverse group of people, and maintaining the trust and buy-in from your teams. We have so many more resources available to us than many of the founders who were forced to learn while they earn. We need to take full advantage of these resources and make them available to our teams so they can be the best. We have no excuse for not improving ourselves. Personal conduct and how we act under pressure matter now more than ever. Change is difficult. Our goal as leaders is to gain the confidence of our team and minimize the distractions so our team can focus on the mission. If you are part of a leadership change, want to introduce a new way of doing something, or trying to shift the culture of your organization, be mindful and take strategic steps to help everyone embrace and support the change. Loss of affected and give them room to make choices, the more likely they will be to not only support, but ensure that the plan is successful. Change leads itself to uncertainty because you are going into the unknown. Managing people's expectations during times of change and not letting them set the bar too high or too low will help them process. Also, being as transparent and clear as possible with the plan will provide them with as much known as possible. If people know there is a plan, even if it is a loose one, it should give them a bit more security. People need time to digest, or the first reaction will likely be rejection. When possible, plant seeds of upcoming changes so people can get used to the idea. We are creatures of habit. Keep unrelated changes staggered and strategic to increase the chance they will be accepted and supported. Ego. It's all in your approach. Being in construction, I'd bet that each and every one of us have had a certain knack for being able to manage ego. We deal with some pretty big ones in this industry. No matter what kind of change you are trying to implement, managing that perception piece can be magic. No one, especially people who have been doing this forever, want to be in a position where they do not look like experts. We are proud people in this industry, so adjusting your approach to ensure you are propping up the past efforts and discussing how they paved the way for the new things to come will help get your change put in place. The defensive reaction can be fierce. Be very mindful of perception and avoid the defensive reaction by celebrating the elements of the past worth honoring and make it clear the world has changed. No one did anything wrong, we just need to do it different. It is almost always easier to stay the course. Change means doing things differently and understanding and being okay with the fact that it might not always be smooth. Set your team up for success by providing the training and support they need to be confident they will be successful. As leaders, we always need to be cognizant of the unintended consequences of our actions. Spend time planning for the ripple effect to minimize and manage its path. Then plan on missing some. Don't underestimate resentment. Do your research and talk to your team about possible conflicts that may arise so you can tackle them head on and mitigate their effects. Open, honest conversations is the best approach. Change can mean tough decisions. Stay focused on making the best decision based on your objectives. If people are confident your intentions are transparent and honest, they are more likely to support your plan, even if they do not agree with it or understand it. Some of us will have the opportunity to jump on a moving train as we progress in our careers. This has obvious advantages, but also has some unique challenges. Succession planning and giving your plan time to hit a few snags and recover is key. Transition can be difficult for those who are retiring or looking to step back, especially because it is more than likely all they know and their daily grind has become their life. Be flexible in your approach and provide options for a smooth transitions so that go along with their plan. If you are working with someone who is looking to step back and not entirely out, explore other ways they can use their skills, knowledge, and connections to benefit the organization and the industry. Get them involved in industry advisory boards, become an expert witness for legal teams, or work in the community and construction career development opportunities. Remain united at the top. If people see silos in decision making or upper management not working in sync, they will lose buy-in. Disagreements and strategic planning are absolutely necessary, but it needs to happen behind closed doors. And once a decision is made, the team needs to be behind it 100%. Concerns need to be moved up the chain to people who can actually make a change. Complaining horizontally or down is a waste of time. Having a 360-degree understanding of the established culture and team, reputation, and processes and procedures will help you develop a plan for a successful leadership transition. As you gain clarity on these items, always be looking for opportunities for improvement. Transition is a perfect opportunity to tackle key items within the organization that need attention. This is also a great opportunity for you to get buy-in from your team if they see positive progress is being made. Buyer beware. Do not take on too many items. Not successfully executing will do more damage for your team than a select few items being well implemented. If you want people to bet on you, you need to be 100% bought into yourself. Being confident in your abilities and humble about your weaknesses will take you far. Mistakes will be made, and looking at them as growing opportunities will keep you motivated to push yourself. People feed off passion and energy. Maintaining a positive attitude will make people want to see you be successful. Growing up, my mother always used to say, "Don't ask, don't get." People are not mind readers. If you want something, ask for it. Being prepared to put your mission first as you work your way towards your wants will show your team you're in it to win it. Asking for feedback and actually using it will also show people that you are committed to excellence and self-improvement, not ego. Complacency leads to laziness. Constantly seeking to improve yourself and your knowledge will earn you a seat at the table, but maintaining that drive for improvement is what will keep you relevant. Construction is a small world, and you do not always know who pulls the strings on your career. Always bring your A game. Leading by example will show others your expectations regarding conduct and quality. Surrounding yourself with diverse influences and tough judges is the best way to keep your A game on point. Having peers and mentors that you can learn from and that will push you to be better will give you the support and skills you need. As the new school of leaders build the future of our industry, our ability to provide a more inclusive and compassionate environment for those who will come after us will be one of our greatest challenges. We tip our hard hats to those who came before us and take the baton with the mission of continuing the legacy of pride, grit, and hard work that has brought us all to this point. You have the power to make positive change and do great things. Remember, no one cares more about your career than you, so be aggressive and build the future you want.